Viewers, today latest update from Ethiopia, Tigray, Afar and Oromo regions. Viewers, the ongoing civil war taking place inside of the former state of Ethiopia. The Oromo Liberation Army, and again we are seeing these be loyalist fixed wing aircraft and drones conducting airstrikes on some of these towns and cities that the OLA is in control over so inherently that would lead to a certain amount of a civilian death toll in those towns caused by these would be loyalist airstrikes that are continuing, and then obviously based on the past performance of the be loyalist media, they could then quite literally blame those airstrikes in the resulting death toll because of those airstrikes launched by the be loyalist air force on the Oromo Liberation Army as being some sort of abused ethnic cleansing within its own ethnic group, or the targeting of Amhara living in the Oromo region, but again would question you on the reception of those reports. Again, there has been the widespread use of a fixed wing aircraft in those areas, and again I have been reporting on this for the last better part of 2 weeks now, that a lot of these fixed wing assets that were once being deployed against the Tigray Defense Force are now being utilized against areas in which the Oromo Liberation Army controls. So again, as the B loyalist formation launch airstrikes on these towns that are controlled by the Oromo Liberation Army, there is going to be a certain amount of obviously civilian death toll again most of the time, especially if the loyalist air force is utilizing fixed wing aircraft. Again, these are not precision strikes, they are coming in with bombs, rockets and launching set airstrikes on a town that is believed to be held by the OLA, and again you have a mixture of obviously OLA fighters in some of these towns, but at the same time you also have a large civilian population that is also being attacked unfortunately by these fixed wing assets. So again, when you hear about some of these reports of the OLA executing individual in towns and cities, again I would question those reports because again because of the use of some these fixed wing assets against targets in Western Oromia that we continue to see by the Beloit formation. But again wanted to report on that at the same time we have heard about some recent offensive operation by both a loyalist formation. We have seen both federal police units, we have seen Ethiopian National Defense Force army units and Amhara regional militias attempting to operate towards the town of Gidami and some other towns in Western Oromia as well. But again, at the same time as those operations are taking place, we continue to see the operation underway by the Oromo Liberation Army in other areas of Western Oromia. And again, I just wanted to emphasize that the level of violence and the level of fighting is very intense. And again, unfortunately, this is something that the world is not paying attention to right now. Obviously, a lot of mainstream media outlet and other media outlets are looking more towards what is happening in Ukraine and other parts of the world, but again very little reporting is being done on the catastrophe that is underway in the Oromia region as we speak. And again we are really seeing those there is a B loyalist formation, its air force, is intelligence services, those drones assets now being turned upon the Oromia population, the Oromo population in Western Oromia, in Abiy Ahmed efforts in with his support with the Eritrean army. To regain control of much of Western Oromo, but again he is struggling, meaning is struggling the Prosperity Party. The Abiy regime is struggling in very significant way in engaging the Oromo Liberation Army in Western Oromia, again OLA very active. We have received multiple reports, but battlefield reports of OLA activity in Western Oromia, in which it has caused a great number of casualties to the B loyalist formation and some of the Oromo region forces that support the loyalist formation and the Amhara, some of the regional forces that are now being deployed and have been deployed in the Oromo region. We have uh, that some of these regional forces that identify themselves as Oromo regional forces are in fact Amharan parliamentary forces operating in the Oromia region. So again, you will hear media reports coming out that will say that Oromo regional forces or special forces are operating against the Oromo Liberation Army. We have intel that would indicate that these are in fact Amhara or regional forces, in some cases parliamentary forces such as the FAN organization operating in the Oromia region. So again, just note that, and again that the fighting is widespread and intense, and unfortunately really is not being reported on by the mainstream media news. And I thought that important to talk about, and again the key element in terms of some of those uncured reported massacre that are being alleged by the Belarus media. Again, understand with these fixed wing airstrikes that are occurring in these towns, we believe in that some of these fixed wing strikes that are occurring, they are now talking and they are blaming some localized OLA massacres on those fixed wing airstrikes, and we do know those fixed wing airstrikes are continuing in the Oromia region, and it's one of the key method of the Bilolist formation. Now its operation in the Oromia region, and we will continue monitor the situation that is ongoing in the Oromia region as will and we are continuing to watch the operation the Afar region. We believe at this point TDF units are pursuing some of these are far regional militias probably a little too quickly, and it's possible that they need to down some of their operation and stay closer to the border with the Afar Tigray region, as opposite to getting too far into the Afar region, because again it would be difficult to maintain positive control over some of these areas given the lack of infrastructure and the supply issue and the possible threat of the transfer of those air assets back to the Afar region to engage. And viewers, on the other hand, we continue to see that Tigrayan forces continuing its security operation in the Afar region. Now there has been some reports that the Tigray Defense Forces are in fact moving towards the Djibouti road. Again, the thought behind this is that severing some of these vital infrastructure roads into the farmer state of Ethiopia would create an atmosphere where, could possible, we could see the forces of the B loyalist and Haran regional militias and Eritrean forces withdraw from Western Tigray. I would say that is a good strategy in thought and process, but at the same time, it would be very difficult to maintain forces in the Afar region given the supply situation and given the possibility of a renewed Eritrean attack, even the possibility of renewed loyalist air force attack in the Afar region. So again, we do not believe this is a concerted effort to seize control of territory, and obviously if you are going to seize control of some of these main Eriteria routes into the farmer state of Ethiopia, especially the roadways through Djibouti, you would have to occupy these areas for extended period of time in order for that strategy to take effect and cause those forces to possible withdraw from the Western Tigray region. So we do not think that is likely. Again, we believe this is an ongoing security operation that is becoming more and more aggressive because they are finding success. And what I mean by that is in the case of some of these Afar regional militias units that were engaged near Brahel and Abala and even east of Abama and south of Abama. The Tigray Defense Force has found great success in engaging and destroying some of these units, so a lot of the Afar regional militias units, to include some of their support elements within the Eritrean army, are fleeing the areas near the Tigray Afar regional border. So, however, this is the latest update about it. For more latest report, please subscribe my YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.